Good evening, and welcome to Tsukiji Hongwanji Buddhist Temple. Please join me in Gassho. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you for coming to the Saturday English service. First, we'd like to begin the service by reciting the aspiration, which can be found on page 2 in the blue service book.
Namanda, Aspiration. Reverently, we come before the shrine of our Amida Buddha, the Holy One, the Perfect One. With gratitude, we have brought our offering of love and devotion to honor the Buddha. We earnestly resolve to strive to understand the holy teaching and to walk every day in the blessed path, so that, like the Buddha, may we attain the peace of nirvana. Namandavs, 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 namandavs.
We will chant the sutra, Juseige. Please turn to page 3 of the blue service book.
Please join me in Gassho. Namandavs, 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 Lai Hari. 나곤 조세감 희심의저덕 시간 불만적 세이프저셔각 가오무려거 부이다이세슈 부사이쇼빙게 세이프저셔각 가시저벤더 묘셔저집법 극겸이셔멈 세이프저셔각 리어그진셔넨 조에주번겨 지금의저덕 이셔텐니시 진리기엔다이거 부셔무사이도 조저상금요 고사이슈야그남 가이히지에겐 메시건모암 헤이서그쇼아그도 쓰다트덴 슈몬 고소저 よいさいべ下足主徳法元年信条門徳意三害用成仏無下地自度未不詳願学営力都市最小層志願若国家大仙の感動国書店にとうち名受けなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶなまんだぶ願にしくどく平等性祭道本菩提師往生安楽Please join me in Gassho. Namanda, 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 Namanda.
We will now sing the gatha, Shinshu anthem, found on page 5 in the Blue Service Book. Congregation, please rise. Please remain standing for the recitation of the three treasures found on page 4 in the blue service book.
The three treasures. Difficult is it to receive a human form. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us, with sincerity and true reverence, take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord and harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavs, 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 namandavs.
Please be seated. Please wait a moment until we are ready. So thank you for waiting. This evening, we are so happy to have Reverend KUMAHARA Kana, Minister of Shozenji Temple in Saitama, as our guest speaker. KUMAHARA Sensei will talk on How Precious the Connection by Buddha are. I'm glad to introduce KUMAHARA Sensei to you.
Namandavs, 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 Excuse me, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down and talk. Now, please join me in Gassho. Are hard to encounter even in many lifetimes. It's a decisive cause of birth, Amida's universal vow. Hard to realize even in myriads of kalpas is pure shinjin that is true and real. If you should come to realize this practice and shinjin, rejoice at the conditions from the distant past that have brought it about. Namandav, 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 namandav. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome everyone to the service, and thank you so much for coming and watching the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching YouTube channel. As Miss Sarah just introduced me, thank you, Miss Sarah. I'm Kana KUMAHARA from Shozenji Temple. I'm so honored to be here today. I usually do MC at this service, so there are some people who have seen this face, or there are some people who came here or saw me for the first time. So, before getting into the Dharma talk, I would like to introduce myself a little bit. And also, I would like to try to use a PowerPoint with a little bit of Japanese, just in case, so that we are able to understand easier, I hope. I was born in Tokyo and raised in Toda City, Saitama Prefecture. I first learned English during my elementary days. Since then, English has become my favorite subject, and I majored in English at high school and college. During my junior year at college, I studied abroad at Southeast Missouri State University in Missouri, USA. It's the campus. It's huge, right? I know. I was there, though. It's huge, yeah. After I graduated from college, I learned about the teachings of Buddhism and Jodoshin Buddhism. It took 2 years at the vocational school in Kyoto, which is called Chuo Bukkyo Gakuin. It has been 7 years since I finished vocational school. Shozenji Temple, which I work for, is located in Toda City, Saitama Prefecture. It takes about an hour to get here to Tsukiji Hongwanji Temple by train. My temple was established from the ground up by the present minister, who is my father, and with the help of my mother. Mother, thank you so much for coming, and to establish a new temple at the area where there is no temples of Jodoshin Buddhism, which is called Toshikaikyo in Japanese. Thanks to all of the members of our temple who are striving to spread so far. Little known fact of Toda City, it's famous for the boat race track called Boat Race Toda, along with the famous fireworks festival. It's called Toda Bridge Fireworks Festival in the summer. The festival is held at the same time with Itabashi World Tokyo, which is next to each other across Arakawa River. Excuse me. I have been indebted to Toda City since I was a child, and it's a very comfortable city to live in. Another fun fact, the current city mayor graduated from the same junior high school and high school as me, but way before I enrolled in. This is a picture with me and him, and this is my high school's year magazine, and he is the cover. It just came last week. It's the high school magazine. He's the cover. I still remember that when I was in high school and he was a city council mayor, he was always standing at the Toda station, which is my nearest station, and he said, "Good morning, have a good day," with shaking hands or giving a fist bump every morning. He still does that at Toda City's station every morning. So when you're around the city in the morning, you may be able to meet him. He works very hard and tries to change a city to be more comfortable to live in. Okay, So, of course, you all are welcome to my temple anytime. So, please feel free to visit when you're in the city. Actually, this is my second time that I have a chance to talk in person. And the last time I talked was at the multi-purpose room, which is the information center, which is in front of this building. So this is my very first time talking here. So as you might already know that I am very nervous right now. So, but I would like to listen to Dharma talk about Amida Buddha and the Nembutsu of Nama Amida Butsu with everyone together today. Even though it's almost April and it's still chilly in the late afternoon, and our bodies tend to get stiff. So now, let's try to raise your shoulders as much as possible. Inhale, and lower them all at once, and exhale. If your shoulder hurts and hard to raise, please do it without any strain. One more time. Raise your shoulder as much as possible, and inhale, 吸って, and then lower them all at once. 吐いて, exhale. How you feel? You feel relaxed? Good? Yeah, then why don't we also relax our eyes and remove wrinkles between eyebrows? Good. Everyone's face looks warmer now. Thank you so much. So please relax as you are now and listen to Dharma talk together. Okay, the guest speaker who came to my temple's monthly Dharma talk service this February said this. The thing which gets in the way to listen to Dharma talk at most is your intelligence and awkwardness. That is your own enemy. So when you listen to Dharma talk, it's really important to listen to Amida's work as it is, and Buddha's words as they are, like, yes, that's right, as you say. There is no need any of your matter. The Dharma service like this is not a seminar. I know that nowadays seminars for learning various knowledge is becoming very popular. It's important to learn things, but Dharma talk is definitely not a thing to acquire knowledge for navigating the world skillfully. We listen to them to clear up my own life. So therefore, why don't we listen to Dharma talk together with putting our knowledge and education aside, okay? By the way, the last time I talked at the service was last January, and the theme was being raised by Buddha's teaching. And this time, I chose the theme as how precious the connections by Buddha are. It's not a usual thing that we are sitting in front of Amida Buddha, putting our hands together, chanting sutra, and listening to Dharma talk right now. It's all because of precious Buddha's connections, which is called仏縁in Japanese. I thought we can realize how precious it is by pondering them again. So that's the reason why I chose today's theme. The hymn which I read at the beginning is written in general prologue, which is written at the beginning of Kenjo do Shinjitsu Kyogyo Shomondui, which is Shinran Shonin, who is the founder of Jodoshin Buddhism's main work. Speaking of Shinran Shonin, it has been 850 years since he was born, and it has been 800 years since he clarified the teachings of Jodoshin Buddhism. If he wasn't born and clarified the teachings of Jodoshin Buddhism, we wouldn't be where we are today. You might think that is an obvious thing, 当たり前でしょと思うかもしれない. But it's really important to be mindful of each connection. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I think most of you felt that the thing that we thought it's always there were actually not usual. Each thing has always been precious and important, right? even at times like that, Amida Buddha's work didn't change at all and had been reaching out to me, who was feeling loneliness because of the social distance with other people as an Nembutsu of Namu Amida Butsu and walking with me. It's really important. It's really heartwarming, isn't it? Nowadays, daily life is back to normal since the COVID-19 is transited to category 5, and we might become, like Japanese proverb says, once it's past my throat, I forget the heat. 喉元過ぎれば暑さを忘れる. But I'm thinking that I want to make use of those feelings that we had at the hard times instead of forgetting them. I know it's hard to do it in daily life, but still, I think it's a precious thing that we can realize at every opportunity. At this right moment, the reason why we are being to encounter the teaching which we can rely on is thanks to Shinran Shonin's birth and his work of making clear the teachings of Jodoshin Buddhism and Amida Buddha's teaching. We shouldn't take it for granted and be thankful to the precious Buddha's connection. Last year, there was a memorial service for it for 5th period with 30 days, 5期30日間, at Nishi Hongwanji Temple, which is the head temple of Jodoshin Buddhism in Kyoto. There are so many people who are members of Jodoshin Buddhism, came from all over the country in Japan, who came to join the service. I also joined one of the days. Here at Tsukiji Hongwanji Temple, there is a memorial service for it for 4 days next month, from April 26th to April 29th. And also, there is a memorial event for it on May 3rd. It's a public lecture which invites a living national treasure storyteller, Shori Kanda, 人間国宝の講談師の方です。Shori Kanda, and a rakugo storyteller, Soraji Katsura, 落語家の桂空知さん. It's the only chance in 50 years. So I would like everyone to join both and encounter the special opportunities. Now, I'm going to read the hymn again. Oh, hard to realize, even in many lifetimes, it's the decisive cause of birth, Amida's universal vow. Hard to realize, even in myriads of copas, is pure Shinjin that is true and real. If you should come to realize this practice and Shinjin, rejoice at the conditions from the distant past that have brought it about. Namanda, namanda. This hymn expresses how grateful and surprised Shinran Shonin was when he encountered his master Honnen Shonin, who is the founder of Jodo sect. I learned that the very first word, ah, expresses the looks of being impressed with letting out a voice and sigh, like, ah. What was he impressed about? It's a bliss that Shinran Shonin could encounter the salvation of Amida Buddha by encountering Honnen Shonin, even though he was hard to be saved. What does hard to be saved in this situation mean? There are sentences which can be one of the explanations about it. In the notes on One's Calling and Many Callings says, we are full of ignorance and blind passion. Our desires are countless, and anger, wrath, jealousy, and envy are overwhelming, arising without pause to the very last moment of life. They do not cease or disappear or exhaust themselves. So it's a person who lives like that, being self-centered. Who is that? That is exactly me. Therefore, when I look at things or people, I unconsciously capture them with a filter that is made by my own sense of values and thoughts. and I tend to have a real soft spot for things that I like. And on the other hand, I tend to keep things which I don't like at a distance. At a distance. That is me who lives self-centered, and it's exactly hard to be saved. However, Amida Buddha doesn't judge me or criticize me, and now already holds me as I am, would keep calling me that just leave it all to me. I'm definitely going to save you. By the way of voice, which is the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu, anytime, anywhere, right now, right here. Amida Buddha doesn't watch us from the far away. Amida Buddha is already with us right now. Encounter Amida's universal vow in the sentence at the beginning mean attaining shinjin with exactly listening and receiving them as it is. Hearing my true self through the teachings of Namo Amida Butsu is one way of listening to Dharma talk. When we look back at ourselves, we can realize our own selfishness. Listening to Amida Buddha's teaching means that our head does not gradually turn up, but gradually lower down. Do you know what it means? No? Well, I would like to share a story which I experienced that can make it easier to understand, I hope. This is a story about when I was working a part-time during my college days. One day, when the restaurant was busy, and the regular customer, Mr. A, I don't know his name, so I'll just call him A now, happened to come at the time. And I said, I am so sorry, we are almost full. So we are temporarily stopping taking customers. So could you please wait? And Mr. A said, hey, it's me, you know me. I come here all the time, right? You should know that customers are God. So listen to me and prepare a seat for me right now, he said. It made me and other staff feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, I thought other customers could hear that too. So I told him to make ends meet. I am so sorry, but if you could wait a little bit, I can show you to your table. So could you please wait? Well, if you waited though. And on the other hand, on the same day, there were customers who said, it was delicious today too. Thank you so much, on their way out. And I said, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you again. Have a good day, to them while bowing my head. What do you think about each situation? I think Mr. A's attitude was because of his highly selfishness and his wrong way of thinking towards stuff. And on the other hand, other customers who said thank you knew that we are living by connections of various people and lives, so that they had respect for others. Do you know what I mean? Listening to Amida Buddha's teachings makes us realize that my life is already prayed by Amida Buddha, and I'm being able to live a life by various lives, and at the same time, it makes me bow my head with thinking that, is that so? I'm glad to be born. Amida Buddha is reaching out to me as the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu, anytime, anywhere, right now, right here, no matter what happens. Whether I believe or not, I remember or not, and even I turn back on Amida Buddha. We are definitely not alone and lonely all the time. Now please, put your hands together in Gassho Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Does Namo Amida Butsu hard to say? Some people say it's hard to say, or I can't say those things. Some people say that to me. But I wonder why it's hard to recite, even though it's easy for us to complain and nag. In fact, although the Nembutsu which we recited now did it by yourself, it's actually proof that Amida Buddha is reaching out to me. When I think I'm going to recite the Nembutsu, there is certainly a working of Amida Buddha to make me recite it. Amida Buddha appears in the form of voice as Namo Amida Butsu through my mouth as the way of telling me that Amida Buddha is reaching out to me. And Amida Buddha's working is definitely reaching out to every lives equally all the time. How grateful it is. Now, let's talk about engi. It's a Japanese word and it's actually from Buddhism. It means that we are closely connected with so many people and things through living everyday life. I don't know if you ever thought like this, but I think we tend to have an illusion that we are living all by ourselves. But actually, we are being able to live by the connections with various lives of people and things. It can be expressed as the connections of relationship. In Japanese, ご縁のつながり. It can also be called engi in Japanese. Like right now, thanks to all of you who are here, that I am able to talk right now. And it may sound a little saucy to say this, but you all are here listening to Dharma talk is possible because of me. This Dharma service cannot be held by just me or any one of you alone. It has been able to held because each of you are here together now. During COVID-19 pandemic, I had to record my Dharma talk at my temple or Tsukiji Hongwanji's YouTube channel by myself. I reshot so many times where no one was around, but only my mother was in front of me helping me to record. It was very difficult for me to talk because there was no one who could give me a response like you do or give me a smile. But today, thanks to all of you who are here listening to Dharma talk together now, we are able to listen to Dharma talk about the teachings of Amida Buddha and the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu together today. Again, thank you so much for coming. Recently, it looks like individual is valued and respected, and it makes an individual's freedom of expression valuable. But I don't think it means that people are allowed to do anything selfishly, because we can't live alone. We feel a strong connection of life to family, like parents, children, and close friends, but we don't feel the same about others. We don't feel the same about other people whom we have no connections with at all. I think it's natural to think so, separate me from others. However, Amida Buddha is always with the lives of all living things and grasps everything as if it were Amida Buddha's own things. Amida Buddha rejoiced with us when we were happy and sheds tears together with us when we are sad. From the perspective of Amida Buddha, you and I are both one of Amida's precious children. When we hear that you're precious and important, the person who is next to you is also precious and important. I learned this while listening to my father, who is the present minister at my temple's Dharma talk. Then I could nod at his talk and realize again that Amida Buddha is so grateful and heartwarming. At that time, I thought that the world could be more peaceful if we recognize each other's individuality instead of comparing them. It can be the chance to make us realize the connections of relationship. I don't think we often don't have a chance to think or care about such things, so I would like to take some time to think about it together today with an example before I wrap up today's talk. I think most of you came here by train or bus to get here. There are conductors who drive them, and so many people are involved, including who manage the systems to ensure that trains and buses are operating on time, or who maintain tracks and roads to drive safely every day, and so on. We tend to take it for granted while using it in daily life, even though we are being able to live a life because of the connections of relationship. Each connection is really important, and I am grateful. I don't think we usually don't pay attention to it, but if you think about it, we can realize how grateful it is, and at the same time, oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know why I backed so many things. Okay. Done this. Mr. A, I don't know, I don't like him. Okay, and okay. This engi I talked about. Yes. Okay. Yes, now. There we go. Yes. Okay, each connection is really important, and I am grateful. I don't think we usually don't pay attention to it, but if you think about it, we can realize how grateful it is, and at the same time, we bow our heads naturally. The Dharma talk of Amida Buddha's teachings make us aware of those things. Right now, we are both encountering a precious Buddha's connections. The fact that we are able to listen to Dharma talk together today is due to various connections of relationship and Buddha's connections. As Shinran Shonin expresses in the hymn that rejoice at the conditions from the distant past that have brought it about. We both are now able to listen to the teachings of Amida Buddha due to karmas from past years, long time ago, which I can even imagine. It means that people close to you who passed away were saved by Amida Buddha and became Buddha in Jodo, which is Amida's land, and are guiding you by reaching out to you right now. When our life burns out, we also become a Buddha by Amida Buddha's saving in Jodo, encounter those who have passed away before us as the same Buddha again, and will be a guide for who is left behind. I know it's important to have status, honor, money in life, but it seems difficult to clear up my own life with just those things. When we hear and entrust that we are already in the middle of salvation through listening to Dharma talk, all we can try to do our best in everyday life is cherish each Buddha's connections, Butsuen, like I talked about, and be grateful to Amida Buddha in gratitude for Amida Buddha's great compassion. The Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu is not for the purpose of accumulating merit, but it's the thing that I'm being raised little by little. Amida Buddha brings us up and leads us by walking through life with us. Both you and I strive for our life by reciting the Nembutsu of Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Thank you so much for listening. Namandavs, 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 namandavs. Namandavs, namandavs, namandavs.
Thank you very much, KUMAHARA sensei. We will now sing the gatha Namo Amida Butsu on page 6 in the blue service book. Congregation, please rise. Please be seated. Let us recite together the Shinshu Creed found on page 2 in the service book. Followed will be the recitation of the benediction.
If you'll follow me at the bottom of page 2, the Shinshu Creed. we single-heartedly take refuge upon Tathagata Amitabha for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our powerless self. We believe that the assurance of our rebirth comes at the very moment we are led to entrust upon the Buddha, and we call the name Namo Amida Butsu in happiness and thankfulness for the Buddha's great compassion. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder and the succeeding masters who have led us to believe in this profound teaching, and we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. Amida Buddha surrounds all men and all forms of life with infinite life and light. Particularly does the Buddha send forth loving thoughts to those in suffering and sorrow, to all those in doubt and ignorance, to all who are striving to attain truth, and to those whose feet are standing close to the great change men call death. Amida Buddha sent forth oceans of wisdom and compassion. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavits, 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 namandavits.
We would like to thank you all for attending or watching today's Tsukiji English Dharma service. For those attending here in person, please take time to scan the QR code located near the entrance. For those watching online, please click on the link provided in the description field. We would appreciate if you could fill out the survey provided in the link and give us your feedback so that we can improve on the services. Due to unavailability of the Kodo Hall for April, the next service on April 20th at 5:30 p.m. will be held at the multi-purpose room of the Information Center. The guest speaker will be Reverend Yamamoto Koshin, Minister of Myoenji Temple in Kanagawa, and the topic will be the Buddha, the Enlightened One, is dynamic, never static, the concept of going and coming. We look forward to seeing you again. Let us put our hands together in Gassho. Please feel free to come forward to offer incense. Thank you.